Stephen, were you surprised by the fierce criticism of your column last week?
Well, I wasn't particularly aware of it, actually, because one of the great boons of my life is that I don't do social media. So if there was
For it, Stephen, believe me,
I didn't see it.
Better off for it, that is for sure. I mean, it feels like Martin Lewis, and by the way, I've known Martin Lewis for years. I think he's a great guy, and he is someone that should be listened to and respected. But it does feel like the BBC are using him in a particular way.
Yeah, as I said in that quote you pulled out, they call for Martin when they want to make our flesh creep. And there's no doubt that we face, tremendous problems, really serious problems. But and I also admire him. I mean, he's made a small fortune by advising people how to look after their money, which is a great thing to do. But it's not clear to me how that qualifies him to be really the leading pundit now on the BBC and other channels as well in prophesying doom and gloom, and also worryingly civil unrest. He's been going on for months now about how unless the government takes dramatic action, there's going to be civil unrest. How does he know? It seems to me to be a dangerous prophecy to make. It doesn't help anybody. We don't want civil unrest, but I mean, there's no evidence of it yet. I'm not saying it won't happen, but how is he so sure that it might happen if what he wants to be done isn't done, which is basically what he's saying. He's saying, if the government doesn't do what I say it should do, we're going to have civil unrest.
And perhaps the BBC wants this to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And what's fascinating with the way the BBC covers this energy crisis overall is that they only come at it from one perspective, a bit like how I felt the BBC covered lockdown. It was always, why aren't you locking down harder? Why aren't you locking down longer? In this case, it's why aren't you spending more money? It is a very socialist approach that they're taking to this problem when they quiz ministers.
Yeah, I mean, the BBC's approach is that the government must spend much more money, and it never seems to occur to them that people, to some degree, I only say to some degree, have the independence to deal with these problems ourselves. We can use electricity less. We can turn the lights off less. We can turn the heating off at night. We can use our appliances less. All these things, they may be marginal, but if you add them together, they will have some effect. And the assumption that it's entirely down to the government to bail us out is wrong and dangerous, I think. It's obviously people in need are going to require help, and they've already got some help, and they're going to need more help from the government. But most of us are going to have to help ourselves as well, and that's something which is often ignored, not just by the BBC, but also by Martin Lewis, I should say.